In this video, I'm going to be talking about the importance of click-through rates and how you can increase your click-through rates using thumbnails. So if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. When you're trying to harvest free traffic online using platforms like YouTube or social media, one of the most important things is engagement and more specifically click-through rates, which is when someone clicks on your video. Now, when someone clicks on your video, they're actually telling Google and YouTube that this video is something of interest. And when they do that, as well as a few other factors, but this is the trigger, but when they do that, that's actually telling YouTube and Google that, well, if this person, with this browsing behavior clicks on this video, then perhaps other people with similar browsing behavior will also click on this video as well. So we're going to test it out and start showing this video to small audiences to see what sort of click through they get. And if those small little audience get some decent click through rates, then they'll start showing that video to larger audiences. And then if those larger audiences start, doing good click-through rates on that video, then what will happen is that you'll get the full force of YouTube, and that is very overwhelming. In fact, it's one of the biggest rushes that you will ever feel once you start getting videos that are generating thousands upon thousands of views per day. And if you watched my previous video, I actually showed you live proof of one of my videos that are getting thousands upon thousands of videos per day, and the importance of applying this sort of ideology that I'm talking about now. The question is, what can you do to actually increase the chances of a click-through? Well, ultimately, there's not really that much you can do. Sure, you can make sure you have all the optimized text and titles and descriptions, and you can follow all of the guidelines when it comes to optimization with YouTube and Google. But remember, we are only really following the guidelines of YouTube and Google because we want them to show our video. However, if we don't really have a thumbnail that's kind of evoking an emotion or some sort of response to the person we want to click on the video, then it doesn't matter if we are first place, second place, or third place in Google and YouTube, because if the thumbnail below us is something that is ticking the boxes for the viewers, then people are going to click on that thumbnail over your thumbnail every single time. In fact, I've got a few students who believe that SEO is the moneymaker or the overall success driver online, when it's not. SEO, all it really is a positioning skill. So when you apply SEO, all it actually does is get you to the right position, so you have the opportunity of getting seen. But if you don't evoke that human response, like in the thumbnails, for example, then you're not going to get the clicks, which means you're not going to be able to get your message to people, which means you're not going to get a lead, sale, or your end goal. One of the biggest problems that I see people doing on a daily basis when they start creating their thumbnail is that they personally get too emotionally involved with it, because they will spend hours or days, or I hope they don't spend days, but spend a lot of time and put a lot of heart and soul into creating these thumbnails. But they're forgetting something really important, which is, it's not a matter of what you think or how much time and effort you put in. It's a matter of what your audience think. So if you upload a thumbnail and it's not really getting much traction, Google and YouTube, they don't really care for your feelings. They just want to make sure they're providing good content to people. And the way they know that it's good content is by the reaction and the clicks that people are performing on their stuff on the search engines. Okay, so ideally, sometimes you may hire a graphic designer, and unfortunately, graphic design and these sort of skills, they have a very low barrier, which means that almost anyone can jump into any sort of software, any sort of design software, use the templated stuff, and start creating these thumbnails. And a lot of the time, they don't really consider the important part of it. I like to call a lot of these designers branding designers, because branding is more about trust than anything else. I don't really focus on like a huge part of the design aspect. I actually focus on the conversion aspect of design. Okay, so I want to only include elements in my design which is going to evoke a click or going to evoke a trigger. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of very, very talented designers out there, some who focus on conversions, which, charge more than $5 that you'll get from Fiverr. But there's even more designers out there who just use templated stuff that isn't really original or not really designed for conversion purposes, which kind of becomes redundant if you're trying to get people to click on your videos. So what I tend to recommend is using softwares which have been actually built by software developers, who are actually built by people who are experts in these fields anyway. A lot of tools that I use are, actually created by video marketers and, people who have actually been doing, marketing for a very long time, and they understand the importance of conversions. In fact, their goal is conversion. So it makes absolute sense that if I was trying to streamline things and I don't want to hire or start spending loads of money on staff or people that I need to talk to and wait on and stuff like that, then the next best thing is software. But I need to make sure the software is aligning with my goals, which is conversions. So I use a software called Thumbnail Blaster, and if you want more information about Thumbnail Blaster, I'll leave a link in the description, which will take you to a full-blown Thumbnail Blaster review video. Now, behind Thumbnail Blaster, you've got two marketing and video marketing experts who have teamed up with software developers. Now, they've designed it the way that they have been working for many, many years, and, to basically replicate the sort of success that they've been getting and the systems and processes that they've, been wanting. So the software has been built to basically help them do what they're already succeeding in. And that's the sort of things that you want. So now, one of the great things that I love about Thumbnail Blaster is the fact that it's not just a design tool, but it's also got other really helpful features like the AI image analyzer. I'll link below so you can watch all the videos. That allows you to analyze the actual images that you create to basically help you, with the initial ranking process. Then you've also got the split tester, which is the biggest USB of this software, because that allows you, and it does it when you're sleeping and whatever, to test different thumbnails. So again, you can see which thumbnails will give you the best reaction on your videos. And to top it all off, they also give you lots of different templates and, cool sorts of things just to help you actually design converting thumbnails and not just pretty pictures that we think is going to get those results for us. Because often we tend to do things that we like, but in fact our audience may not like it. Okay, so it's really important that we use really sophisticated softwares to help us keep us, the individual, in check, because often it's our belief systems and the way we do things that actually stop us from progressing. The biggest thing that we need to understand when it comes to thumbnails is that our opinions, especially in the early days, are really irrelevant. What all that matters is the information that other people are giving us and the data that's presented when we use these sort of softwares. Now, if you do want some more information on Thumbnail Blaster, and using Thumbnail Blaster and all of that stuff, go ahead and click the link in the description below, because that's going to take you to my blog, and that will show you everything you want to know: tutorials, how to use it, walkthroughs, demos, as well as individual feature tutorials, as well as some bonus content and a discount with all the pricing of Thumbnail Blaster. Okay, so it's a really in detail blog. You'll find all the information that you need here. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about the Thumbnail Blaster's drag and drop design feature, and I'm going to kind of walk you through how to use that, and kind of like the templates that they offer and stuff like that, and basically just showing you around. Okay, so if you've enjoyed today's video and you want to see more stuff like this, or you want some video SEO tips and tricks, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because I upload daily videos to help the individual or the business owner grow their digital assets online. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.